हरे कृष्णा गौरचंद्र गोपीनाथ प्रभु, दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु।
Are you okay, Prabhuji? Can we start,
Yeah, yeah,
Prabhu?
yeah.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we are very fortunate to have the association of His Grace Gaurachandra Gopinath Prabhu, who will actually share the mood of Srila Prabhupada, who has composed the transcendental prayers of Markina Bhagavata Dharma in the ship aboard Jaladuta by our founder Acharya, the Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The Prabhupada ki jai. Yes, Prabhuji, over to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. I seek all the Vaishnavas assembled here. Sankarshan Priya Prabhu, Devendra Prabhu, Radharani Mataji, Ravi Lochan Prabhu, Sunirmala Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Rukmani Rupa Mataji, Hare Krishna. And also there is a read me note one. Whoever it is, please bless me. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Vinoda Radha Vinoda Radhe Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Subhatra Mayi Jaya Sudarshana Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jai Om Vishnupada Paramhamsa Parivacharya Astotra Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna, welcome again for Srila Prabhupada Katha today. We'll be doing from Markini Bhagavata Dharma, the poem written in the Boston Harbor, September 18, 1965. Today we'll be doing the fourth verse. Boro Kripa Koile Krishna बोरो कृष्णा कोयले कृष्णा आधा मेरा प्रति किलाहिया नीले है तो करो ये बेगति बोरो कृपा कोयले कृष्णा आचा किचु कर जाता बे ये अनुमाने आचा किचु कर जाता बे ये अनुमाने नेगा के नो अनि बेनो ये उग्रसने काहे के नो अनि बेनो ये उग्रसने Rajastamo gune ye rasabi achana. Rajastamo gune ye rasabi achana. Vasudeva katha ruchi nahe se prasanna. Vasudeva katha ruchi nahi se prasanna. तबे जाति तपा कृपा होए अहे तुसी तबे जाति तपा कृपा होए हई दुखी सकले संभा होए तुम्हें से कई दुखी सकले संभावा होई तुम्हें से कई दुखी बोरो कृपा कोइले कृष्णा. So the translation for this fourth verse goes like this. But I know your causeless mercy can make everything possible because you are the most expert mystic. So I was thinking today, um, what is the topic I talk about it? So before that, let me offer my obeisances. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं साग्रजादां सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Idi Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirbhisesha Shunyavadi Pashyatade Shadarine Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishe Namaha ये कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानो सुदे देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Grim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinadarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hare Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna, I seek again Vaishnava's blessing before I talk about this wonderful topic. But I know your causeless mercy can make everything possible because you are the most expert mystic. So I was thinking what part of Prabhupada Leela I can talk about it. So I thought it would be appropriate to discuss how Krishna is so very eagerly wanting to come to serve Srila Prabhupada. Many of the occasions, if we see the miracles, what Krishna has done, which is we think impossible, but everything made possible in Prabhupada's life. Krishna was like, like when we see this acharyas, the six Goswamis, when we go to Vrindavan, we say, oh, this is Radha Gopinath, this is Radha Madan Mohan temple established by Sanatana Goswami, Radha Gopinath by Radha Govinda Dev by Rupa Goswami, and Radha Damodar Mandir. So this Acharya have established one temple, but Srila Prabhupada has established 108 temples. So the costless mercy, rather than I would say, the deity is wanting to come to Srila Prabhupada to be established by them. Every temple has its own history. So some of the key temples during Srila Prabhupada's time, we will see how this mercy of Krishna was flowing, which we see that highly impossible, a lot of miracles happen. So Krishna has done a lot of mystic where he appeared in this different temple. So today theme, I thought I will choose some of the temples how Srila Prabhupada established and how Krishna has showed his costless mercy and his mystic way of appearing, to be served by the devotees. So that's the topic for today. So in this connection, I remembered one Divya Desham. Early days, I was traveling. So this comes in somewhere in Mailadurai. If you go to Kumbakonam, from Kumbakonam, you go to Shirgali and Mayavaram. That's another stretch where you can go to this Divya Desham. And I still remember this place. Just give me a second. I'm just trying to pull a few things. Just give me a second. Okay, I'm not able to get, but that's okay. So what I was telling is this this lordships. So this is the place where Tirumangai Alvar, the 12th Alvar, used to travel around and he would sing. So what is Divedesham? Divedesham is the place where the Lord has sang some glories of the Lord. The particular temple, if any Alvars out of this 12 or anyone has gone and glorified, then that becomes the Divedesham. They would have visited many temples, but not all of them would become a, what is it, Dividesham. Even though the acharyas that the alvars visited, unless they sang one song about that particular deity, and they are considered as Dividesham. So they like this, they have sang 4,000 Nalayara Divya Prabandham, we say 4,000 songs across 108 temples. Um, Dividesham. Similarly, Prabhupada also established this 108 temples and the deities were wanting to come. So one such pastime happened in Mailadurai is that, it's a famous temple called Mailadurai Rajagopalan. Like that, there is a very famous Krishna temple. The Acharya did go, but he did not sing any temple. So that's not a Divyadesham, but it's important place where all the poet and Carnatic people have sang in thousands of songs about this Rajagopala Swami. So nearby there was one temple where when the Alvar was going, the lordships was in private room with the Lakshmi Devi. So he thought it's not appropriate to disturb that, when they are in the private room. So he skipped that temple and he started going to the next temple. So Lakshmi Devi got so much attracted. Oh, my son is going without glorifying me. What will happen if in future nobody will come? This will not be called as Dividesham. He told Narayana, you better you go and call him back and he has to come and glorify us. Otherwise, we will not be considered as a Dividesham. Better call him like that. By the time this Alvar started going towards Chennai, Triplicane, so Lordship searching, finally came to know that he's already left to Triplicane, and he came to Triplicane. By the time he went to Trivandai, now currently in the beach where our temple is there, from there about 10-20 kilometers, this Trivandai is there. He reached and he went to almost Mahabalipuram. So the Lord found him there and he said, hey, better you sing glories of me. How can you skip and go? He said, you are busy, so what I can do. And so he said, no problem, I will glorify you now. Then he sang one song. and he came proudly to the Mahalakshmi saying that, see, look, this Alvarez sang one song. Now we become one of the 108 temples. Divyadesham in future will be called. Then he said, just only one song. I was expecting more song. There are other temples, they have sang 10 songs. And why one song for us? You go again, get another song from him. So, so this again, Narayana is in the mission to catch him. Then he came by the time he left to deep south to Thiruvarur, like that. So he came to Thiruvarur again. He said, hey, I need one more song. The reciprocation between the deities and the devotees, you can't understand, because the deities wanting to hear the glories. The deities want to, glorify the pure Vaishnavas who started this, bhakti cult. Similarly, Alvar, they established a temple. And the similar story is that there are many deities. They were waiting to manifest when Prabhupada would establish these temples. So that's a mystic, costless mercy of Krishna. In this Kali Yuga, Krishna Maharaj was telling Bhakti Vijay Maharaj, three forms Krishna comes in the Kali Yuga. One is in the holy name, another form is comes in the Bhagavatam. The third is the Archa Vigraha, where people can easily access Krishna, Bhagavatam, and holy name. So these are three ways in Kali Yuga we can see Krishna. So the Krishna Kali Yuga comes in the form of deity for one of the five Angas. It's very important. So when Prabhupada established all those temples, we can see the transcendental pastimes or the costless mercy of Lord Krishna directly showing to Srila Prabhupada. So that's why I've chosen about 5, 6 temples today, mostly of different continents, to see how they are miraculously manifested for Srila Prabhupada. So one such temple is the Sri Radha Kala Chanji. This is deity of Dallas. Many of you would have been gone. So the deity named Kala Chanji, very beautiful um, deities, what you're seeing in the screen. And the history goes like this. So when the USA, the Detroit, Montreal, they all want to establish Radhakrishna temple. So Prabhupada sent his two of his disciples, lady disciples, to Jaipur. Go and stay there, and you procure or you source the deities for 2, 3 temples, then send it across to um, US. That's a plan. So when these deities they were searching, and it so happened that this Mataji started going to Jaipur, and they went to Radha Govind. They prayed to Radha Govind, and they were a new, but still they started searching about the deities, and they also started talking about glories of Srila Prabhupada. So one day, this one Mataji left her passport uh, in Delhi or something. Then she came to this place, Jaipur. Now, what is that time happening is that time the war was happening. Pakistan has joined with America. India was joined with Russia. So anybody, the Americans who comes, they think that is a CIA. So, so they were so attracted to Radha Govinda, and they were praying to Radha Govinda that, you manifest, or, you help us to manifest these deities to all these many temples. We want to procure 3 set of deities at least. So that's our intention. They were talking to the pujaris, and they started doing kirtan, and the pujaris saw, oh, this is the first time, the foreigners who were coming and singing about Radha Krishna. There's something which they can't, unimaginable. So this pujari was very favorable in Jaipur, especially Radha Govind Dev temple, and they made her to speak on Prabhupada Katha. They all started speaking Prabhupada Katha. It's so famous that, and the queen of that Jaipur, she started inviting for them the devotees, knowing about Prabhupada. They all also want to meet Prabhupada. So by the time this war started, the police came to know that there is some CAAs in the town. So they want to arrest her, and she told, you. Then luckily the pujari in Radha Govinda, he vouched for them, saying that no, they are pure Vaishnavas, they are not CAA, but they wanted to get the passport back. So like that, there are many pastime happen. On one day like that, such a thing was happening in Jaipur. These Matajis were going around one shop where the deities they make, And this deity, what you see, the Krishna deity, was kept as a doorstop. This is the history goes back to 500 years back. This deity was worshipped. The Kala Chanji was worshipped like very opulently. He's not ordinary person. So this deity were worshipped like any other deities in Vrindavan, very very opulently. Everyday devotees coming, they're part of his life. So during that Mughal attack or whatever it is, they want to hide these deities, and somehow they came to Jaipur. And since it was old deity, and there's no Radha for him. So they just kept as a piece, so that, any art gallery, if you go, there are some pieces will be there which is not for sale. Generally, they keep it like that just to attract customers and things like that. So he was like that. Then this Mataji, as soon as she saw these deities, she wanted to have this and went to the shop and she said, I want this Krishna. He said, no, no, this is not for sale. These are very old murtis. I will give you, proper one, nicely made. There are different designs, and they started showing. But this Mataji was insisting, no, no, I want this deities only. So this Krishna has been waiting for 500 years since worship. He wanted to go to proper place. So most of the time, we, uh, at least myself, think the deities are just normal deities, but they have the leelas. They want to know whom need to be worshipped. They choose the basically who where they want to go. And so like this deity was waiting for 500 years. He would have gone to somewhere else, but he was waiting, and he wants to go to Dallas. And then they wrote to Prabhupada. He said, Prabhupada, get them and also order Radharani for them as well. Then finally this Kala Chanji was 500 years old. Very ancient deities were worshipped opulently in Vrindavan or Jaipur somewhere, I don't know. But they have then finally transferred, they packed and transferred to Delas. That's how this deity came to Delas, where Prabhupada went want to establish. Along with this, there are three more other deities, and there are also Radharani. They have installed, and they are worshipping these deities, wonderful deities. So similarly, another instance in Radha Londoneshwar, this is in Soho Street, very beautiful deities. And Prabhupada say that this is, many devotees say this is the first deity of Radha Krishna installed by Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada many a times told the entire ISKCON is centered around these deities. From here, the entire ISKCON, Radha Krishna is being, worshipped. So he considered this as the center spot. And these are very famous reciprocating devotees. They are also how they come. It's such a wonderful story that they were all waiting for many, many years. They knew that Prabhupada is going to come, is going to establish this temple, and the deities want to go there. Is gone not for anywhere else. So there's one Indian gentleman. What happened is this one community. There are also a lot of many Radha Krishna temples they would construct, but the deities came to them for various reasons. They did not install these deities. That's because Radharani had a minor crack in her finger. So they thought, okay, these TTs cannot be used, and they ordered a new set of TTs. The temple was done, but they were kept like that in one Indian gentleman house for many, many years. So Prabhupada, when he arrived in London, then Prabhupada said it was somewhere October or November. It's almost November. So like this, we are in January. So Prabhupada came in the November time frame. Then Prabhupada said, okay, next month, December, I want to install the deities. And the devotees asked, Prabhupada, where is the deities? Oh, you have to find out, you have to figure it out. We don't. Then they started printing invitation card. Then invitation card said you can eat prasadam. Then Prabhupada corrected, we don't eat prasadam, we honor prasadam. Correction of pamphlet is happening. Inviting dignity is happening. Arrangement for everything is happening, but deities are not there. And it has become so anxious 2 weeks before the inauguration. There is no deities. Imagine, no, we are opening the temple, but there are no deities. Everything is arranged. Invitation, printing cards, Sankirtan, going to the houses, collecting money. Everything was done except that the deities are not there. And it is Radha Krishna temple. And, then one devotee there like this talking, then one devotee came to know that there is one day Indian devotee has Radha Krishna deities, he wants to give it to them. So they came and first checked and they looked at it, they liked it. Then they went and told Srila Prabhupada, like that, we saw the deities and we can talk to them. Prabhupada said, yes, let's go. And as soon as he reached Prabhupada, the gentleman was happy. So, should I show you the deities? Prabhupada said, no, no, how many people are there in the family? And they said, yeah, my wife, my kid. And where are they? Ask them to come. And then he was parading all his family members. Oh, this is my son, this is Chacha, this is my nephew, niece, and what do you do? Prabhupada started talking, and the personal matters about 45 minutes. And the devotees were puzzled. We came here, there is an inauguration in 2 weeks, there is no deities. He's supposed to negotiate the price of these deities and it finished the deal. But Prabhupada, as if we did not come for that, he was talking something else. And these Indians, little respectful to Swamiji, and they were waiting patiently. 1 hour gone. Then asked, "Are you really serious about taking the deities or not?" Prabhupada asked, "What? Oh, the deities. No, no, yes, yes. Show me. Where are they?" And they showed. That time I think it's Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Mukunda Maharaj. And both of them were there. Show me. Then he showed. Yeah, then he showed the Radharani. Then Prabhupada said, Tamal, can you see? You can pick up this. How heavy are they? Will you be able to pick up or things like that? Then the devotees picked up Radharani and said, it's not that heavy. Yeah, she is heavy, but we will be able to manage. He said, what about Krishna? There's another devotee, went and picked up Krishna. He said, will you be able to manage them? Yeah, yeah, it's not too heavy. That's what I said. Then take it and take it. And then Prabhupada started walking towards the car. This Indian gentleman got puzzled. Swamiji, wait, we need to negotiate the price, just taking it. Prabhupada did not listen anything. He just kidnapped them, put them in the van. He said, start. After 2, 3 lanes he went, he said, stop the van now. Then he said, I did not see the even deities properly. He stopped them. And he stopped in the middle of the road, second lane after that. And Prabhupada paid obeisances and brought them to the temple. And literally, Prabhupada, these deities were waiting for Prabhupada to come. Various reasons they have come miraculously and they were waiting, and she didn't want to go anywhere. Radharani even cut her finger, saying that I want to go only to Prabhupada. So then Prabhupada established and saying Radha Londonishwar, they are the controller of the entire UK. So Radha Londonishwar, they named very beautiful deities, very opulently worshipped. The standard in which they worship is very high standard. I was serving them for some time, and I know that one devotee comes for Mangalarti. He comes at midnight, 12 o'clock. He boils some milk to make a morning Mangalarti sweets. The manner from a manner, the Goshala, the milk comes 10, 15 liters. They make go out of it. It takes about 3, 4 hours to make it really, the Goa stuff, and they dedicatedly do serve these deities, and they are known for this well dressing as well. The way they dress them, the dedicated Matajis would come to Vrindavan, stay for 6 months, stretch the deity dresses. They spend lakhs of money in making sure that the highest standard of devotion is done. The pujari standard, timing, the opulent prasadam, they don't use any oil. They use only ghee for cooking any Rajbhog item. The standard is quite high, and you see the vibes there when you go there. Radharandaneshwar is very special because they're just waiting for Srila Prabhupada to come and manifest. This is another wonderful story where they were wanting to come, these deities. The next one temple is that Sydney, Australia. This is Radha Gopinath, the beautiful deities. You see them. They're very small but very sweet. Radha Gopinath temple. So this also happened in Sydney. The devotees were, preaching things like that. This one Indian gentleman came. He saw this place called Radha Krishna temple, but they had only Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, and they also had Panchatattva. There was a Janmashtami, there was a festival happening. They saw, oh, where is Radha Krishna? They said, no Radha Krishna, we don't have. Then he said, no, no, I will go to India and I will send it. You have it. So, but what happened is, after some time, this devotees are also a rented place, temporary place. We didn't have a proper temple. So they moved the place. to a different location, but they did not write any temples. We moved here or moved there, nothing. Any of it was small congregation. So all of them they informed and they just say moved out. They didn't expect any parcel to come to this address or any letter to come to this address. So this Indian gentleman took it very seriously. He went all the way to India, got this Radha Gopinath GTs, and they sent it. It was 10,000 kilometers, right, from India to Australia. All the way they went to cargo. So generally, what happens is, if you see in the history of Vrindavan, let it be Radha Gopinath, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govinda Dev, they were all attacked by Mughal emperors. So they were on constant move. And it's not that, overnight you put a truck and the next day they went to Jaipur. No, they took many, many years to move from Vrindavan to Jaipur. Some devotees were mentioning it took more, almost 100 years. And they would, see the appropriate time to move them to one place to one place. Then finally they would reach the Jaipur. So Jaipur kings were so strong that, the Mughal emperors did not want to fight with them. So that's how they were being protected. So like this, the same pastime, you can see this, these devotees were traveling instead of from Vrindavan to Jaipur, they were traveling from Vrindavan to New Jaipur, you can say. So they're at Sydney, Australia, they want to go. And all the way, shipped 10,000 kilometers, they went to know that the temple is not there. And and they stayed in the dock for some time, and then again they were sent back to India. So again, another 10,000 kilometers they traveled. This DT is a traveling DT. They keep on move. And then they came back to India. And this devotee got really wild. See, I've spent so much money and I've sent the DTs. They can't even acknowledge it. At the same time, Prabhupada was doing Bombay, the Maidan Cross big Pandal program. And this devotee went angrily. See, your disciples, what they have done. I sent to Sydney the DTs, they have returned it back. Prabhupada said, what's your problem? See this, your the devotees are not, respecting and they're not even responsible. He said, no problem, bring the DTs here. So Prabhupada, as soon as it came, he established in the same Pandal program. He named them Radha Gopinath and he said, I will take them to Australia. I will install them. So Prabhupada, this time they went again by flight this time, 10,000 kilometers. I mean, before that, they stopped in Malaysia, worshipped by one of the congregation devotees in the house. Then Prabhupada went and established these deities in Sydney. You can see that, they were moving temples also, these deities where they don't have permanent temple those days. You can see that many, many places they moved finally. They are in North Sydney. So Krishna is like willing to travel miles together, roughly he traveled now by this time 30,000 kilometers, India to Australia, again back to India, again back to Bombay, from Bombay to again Malaysia, Malaysia to here. Then here also he changed many places because the temple was Bondi, then Paddington, Potts Point, like that, he just moved finally. He been worshipped here, Radha Gopinath. So Krishna is determined, come whatever it is, I will go this place. Then so much pastimes happens how these deities, come back and they were waiting for Srila Prabhupada to install. So Srila Prabhupada made a very, very wonderful prayers in Radha Gopinath, Sydney, Australia. So when I install the deity, then I pray to Krishna that I'm leaving you in their hands, in their hands. So give them intelligence and take your service. No responsibility. Now it is your business. Give them intelligence and they will serve you nicely. Otherwise, don't take my offense. Yes, when I left Sydney after installing, I actually prayed to the deity, I'm leaving you here in this Malaysia Desha. Now these devotees, they have come to you. Kindly give them intelligence so that they can serve you nicely. This is my prayers. How we can see this acharyas, especially Madan Mogan. We know the history in Vrindavan, how Sanatana Goswami said, hey, I can't take care of you. I'm a mendicant. I can't give even proper than food, something like that. So Krishna says, no problem. Just give me a chapati, then I'll be all right. So you would just mix Ganga, Yamuna water, some flour, atta, that's it. Sukha roti, dry roti, make and give. And one day he was asking for salt. We all know this pastime, how the deities, this pure Vaishnavas, he said, whatever standard we will happy. So Prabhupada knew that they will not be able to make much standard. It's a Malecha Desha. And he said, DT, I'm giving in their hands. You need to manage your business. Prabhupada like that. He was speaking to the deities and told them to take care of themselves. These devotees are very nice, but you give them the intelligence. Prabhupada was sincerely praying. And it is custom that every time Prabhupada goes to all the temples, he would first talk to the deities and check them how they are being taken care. Are they being fed nicely? Are they being dressed properly? Are they taken care time to time? So Prabhupada would talk. Many devotees confirmed that Prabhupada is to talk to the deities. And he would that would reflect the answer. There will be a conversation Prabhupada would be asking, and after a few minutes he'll move to the another altar. Then he would ask the same question. And in the Bhagavatam class, it will reflect on the temple. Then he would say, yes, it's a very nicely maintained standard. Or sometimes they are not taking care. Then Prabhupada would talk about that in the Bhagavatam class. So Prabhupada, whenever he visits the deities, he would personally talk to them. And many a times he also cried, especially um, especially when he sees the Gauranath deities. How before even Prabhupada went there, the deities were there. The devotees were worshipping them. So he used to cry, saying that Mahaprabhu is so magnanimous. So he's even come before me preaching anything here. He came here, established, and giving so much mercy. So the deities were literally what you say. These deities are not just Vigraha. They are all, interacting deities. They were trying to um, help the devotees, give them intelligence, the way they can worship and things like that. Very lively deities. Then next is the Sri Rukmani Dwarkadesha, USA. So far we have seen that all these deities were waiting for Srila Prabhupada somehow or other to come. They were not just went and ordered, then they got it, then installed. No, these deities were something special, most of the deities. So I'm talking about those deities where, they want to come and accord or there's a pastime. So there's similarly Sri Rukmini Dwarkadesha also. So when Prabhupada came after tired preaching in India because nobody was listening, he wanted to go to America. He came America, he established other temples, and he want to make Los Angeles the headquarters for the Western world, and Prabhupada want to stay there. And so they had this interesting story that uh, these devotees in LA, they had Jagannath Baladev and a small storefront, and they started the temple. It was very bustling, and a lot of devotees started coming. They're having Kirtan, overnight Kirtan and things like that, but they disturbed the neighborhoods, and they said, get out of this place. So they were just on the street taking all their bed, bags, including Jagannath, they were standing. Luckily, on the day, somebody gave a garage where they were started worshipping. And Prabhupada said, no, they need to move to permanent place. You can't have it them here. So they were searching for one such time. Then they got one church. Prabhupada was really happy, and they kept the deities. But they were seeing New York and all, Radha Govind is coming, New Vrindavan is being built, and they also had the desire that they would have deities. They want to have Radha Krishna deities. And it is miraculously happened that, India is means you have to go to India. I mean, Radha Krishna deities means you have to go to India and get them. So in USA, where do you get it? So what happened is there's one elderly Vrindavan Mataji. She had a brass deities of Radha Krishna, and they just came miraculously one day on the doorstep. So they started worshipping them, and this is in the West Coast. And if we see the South, Rameshwaram is there. Uh, East is Puri, West is you have Gujarat, where Dwarkadish is there, and the east you will have Badrinath, like that. So Prabhupada also, these deities, after some time, again they got another big church. It was very opulent place, and they moved, and this Radha Krishna Rukmini Dwarkadish was established later. And Prabhupada gave them the Rukmani Dwarkadish name. And this is something different than other temples. Most of the time, Prabhupada established Radha Krishna temple and most often Vrindavan mode. And this is the only place where Rukmani Dwarakadisha is there, Rukmani and Krishna is there, which is generally little different. sometime people might think, oh, how, because when Krishna went out of Vrindavan, not much of flute and all you see. Krishna is more of a royal, opulent king, especially Dwaraka. There is no rather any no flute. So he was just a king, like that. But one conversation Prabhupada told Tamal Krishna Maharaj that see Prabhupada went, established the temple. He made sure that this is the place where standard of worship is followed by across other temple headquarters. He was happy, settled down. But at the time he came back to India again to establish this Vrindavan temple as well as Mayapur temple. Then the conversation was happening in India, and he was telling Tamal Krishna Maharaj, I was praying, I left Vrindavan to establish temple in America. So I don't know why Krishna has brought me again back here. I was praying to Dwarkadisha while I coming that I'll make it the headquarters and stay there. I am retired from Vrindavan, but Krishna has a bigger plan. He wanted to give me, I left Vrindavan for preaching, so now he's giving a bigger projects in Vrindavan, Krishna Balram temple. So Prabhupada was like that, expressing his desire, and he is having conversation with those this deities, especially Rukmani Dwarkadish. The standard of worship is so high, opulent, that Prabhupada agreed for this name. Actually, devotees has proposed this name, and Prabhupada agreed that they will be called Rukmani Dwarkadish because of the opulence in which they've been worshipped. And also, any of Prabhupada's many a times mentioned that Radha Krishna deities, we don't have any qualification to worship. Worship them as Lakshmi Narayana. When Krishna is present in his body, all the other avatars are present, including Lakshmi Narayana. So one of the such thing Prabhupada was that he was insisting he worship like Lakshmi Narayana. Many of the Radha Krishna temple, because we don't have, unless we come to the Rahanuga Bhakti stage, one cannot worship Radha Krishna in the Vrindavan mode. So Prabhupada knew that there are, not many devotees would be at that level to worship Radha Krishna. So he always opulently you worship like a Lakshmi Narayana in that mode is what Prabhupada was always insisting. That way he said, yes, Rukmani Dwarkadish should be worshipped like a Lakshmi Narayana form of things. And he established these deities, how miraculously they also came through one of the Matajis in Vrindavan or one lady in USA. So, like this, there is another temple where we can see this in Toronto. This is a beautiful temple, Sri Sri Radha Chir Chora Gopinath, New Remuna. This place is beautiful. This is also wonderful story how the name came to these deities. So these Matajis I was mentioning in the Jaipur, they were, also looking for deities. Uh, uh, they are also wanted to have deities, so they are called a Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, any of the people are in Jaipur, those two Matajis will source for you, tell them. So then they didn't know that the deities were shipped, and 3 months they were waiting in the port. Then one day when they called up that Mataji in Jaipur, she said, I've already sent it. It's been 3 months. I've sent three set of deities. You can have one for that Detroit, one for here, I think one for Montreal, I don't know. He said you can have them. So then the deities went, this devotees went and picked up. They opened this Radharani, she was so beautiful. And they didn't open Krishna. So they brought these deities. They opened it, then they saw a little bulge kind of thing in the stomach of Krishna. They called up Prabhupada, what should we name them? Because this is the features of the body. Then Prabhupada said, he looks like he likes to eat a lot of kheer. So every day you offer him kheer, like Kheer Chor Gopinath. So he said, Radha Krishna, Kheer Chora Gopinath name he came, and knew Remuna, how the deities were given name. So it is unusual that the deities will have, standard set of things when you order it, but these deities, they want to manifest in such a form, and Prabhupada, based on the indications and science, Prabhupada would name them either New Vrindavan, New Dwaraka, New Remuna, like that. Prabhupada is to establish everything in the Western world. And there's also sweet pastime of these devotees wanted to have Gaurunita in the wooden form. Those days it was not there. So they were praying, praying. One day, and one devotee, Sankirtan devotee, he had the big set of Gaurunita deities. It's very difficult to maintain them in the van. They might can be broken and things like that. So, but they had a small deity of Gaurunita in the metal deities. Then there was exchange. They called Prabhupada, can we have these deities of Gaurunita in the name? Then the devotee, Sankirtan devotee, agreed to take small Gaurnita in the metal form to easy to maintain while traveling. And that's how the, Gaurnita deities also came here. Very wonderful temple in Toronto. Like that. So this pastime also happened for the Kichor Gopinath, Toronto. And before that, these wonderful pastimes of how Srila Prabhupada got this Toronto temple is amazing. So this time Uttama Shloka Prabhu was there. And one time he went and told Srila Prabhupada, we have good property which is coming up. Can we buy? And Prabhupada said, how much is that property? He said, $600,000. Prabhupada said, $600,000. Forget it. There's too much anxiety. It's so much money. We don't have that much money. Left it. So after 2 days again, he called Uttama Shloka. Is the temple is very big? How about the car parking and all? They said, yeah, about 50, 60 cars can be parked. Very spacious temple. How much did you say, Uttama Prabhupada? Yeah, Prabhupada, it is $600,000. Oh, $600,000. Forget it. There's too much anxiety when we don't have that much money also. It's kept on happening. Again, after next week, you would call up Uttama Shloka. Then he said, can we make a kitchen there? Is it possible to make kitchen in that property? Yes, yes, Prabhupada, kitchen can be also made. There's a wonderful arrangement. This can be made, a lot of parking area, and this can be done. Oh, okay, Prabhupada said. How much did you say? Then Uttama Shloka will reply, Prabhupada, it is $600,000. Oh, $600,000. That's huge. And a lot of anxiety. Leave it, leave it. Then after 2 months, 3 months, Prabhupada again would call Uttama Shloka. Then again, he would ask about the property. Then he would tell again all these details of the property, how much square and things like that. And he said, how much did you say? And Uttama Shloka Prabhupada said, Prabhupada, it is 600,000. It is too much a check. Leave it. We will look for other property. Prabhupada put his fist on the table. He said, we should have anxiety for Krishna. Go and buy it. Prabhupada, we don't have money. No problem. You see, check how much in the bank balance as BBT account. The BBT, when they checked, it was $300,000 they had. Half of that. Prabhupada said, no problem, empty it. Prabhupada, he said, you are emptying the entire BBT account, and there will be nothing left out for the BBT to run. He said, no problem, you go and buy. And Prabhupada came and got this temple. So Prabhupada took a lot of anxiety, a lot of risk in establishing these temples. Because Prabhupada knew that this temple is going to be a landmark, and many of the devotees in the life, many devotees going to make. So one thing which struck me is that when we see these deities and pastime, it is our opportunity, it is our fortune that we get to serve these deities. It is for only purely our beneficial. Though they can be worshipped anywhere, they don't need anything because Krishna is self-sufficient. But most of the time I feel very bad that I'm not able to serve them properly because so much opportunity is given, but it's for our purification and we don't take care of them properly. Not serving them. So this very rarest opportunity Prabhupada has given, and these are the embassies of Golok Vrindavan. There's no doubt about it. These are living deities, and their reciprocal is amazing. You can feel that vibe when they install. So Prabhupada again took a lot of risk in establishing this temple. Another temple is Sri Radha Kunja Bihari Ji in the Detroit. This Devasadan Mandir. It's one of the very, very expensive Fisher mansion. You can see this opulent of the temple. You can see this very beautiful, very expensive temple. Um, Actually, this previous Toronto temple was 2 million or something like that. So Prabhupada somehow managed to get that. And this temple also, like how Prabhupada, we all know that amazingly, uh, you know, um, what is it? You would bargain, Prabhupada bargaining capabilities you can see. This very expensive temple, the mansion. And then he went and saw all the places. He looked at the hall. Oh, this can be a temple hall. Oh, this can be a kitchen. And it's very beautiful. And he came to the real estate agent. He said, this is like a king. It is the best fit for the king to live here. He was so happy that he thought Prabhupada would talk about big money for this. And he said, but we are all beggars. I don't have any money. You give it us for free. And that fellow had a shock of his life that he never seen any bargainer who was asking for finish such expensive mansion, which is worth of millions of dollars. And somehow Prabhupada also got this temple for us. Similarly, let it be Mayapur, or let it be Vrindavan, let it be Juhu temple. Prabhupada has given his blood and to protect the deities, save them miraculously. They all would have manifested, and still they've been so live and uh, taking our service uh, to for our benefit. So similarly, our temple is also no less than that. Radha Vinodji, on their own, they choose us to come here to be served by us. It's for our purification. So you're all wonderfully serving. So I just request humbly that I also get all your moods serving these deities wonderfully to for my purification. I would stop here for any of your realization you want to share. That's all I had today to share. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for the really nectarian flow. We didn't feel like, it was 50 minutes. It was so wonderful, Prabhuji. You shared such a, pastime that Prabhupada had with these deities across different part of the world and different continents. It's really inspiring, and hope I get a little more inspiration from you and the other devotees here to serve the deities nicely. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for this wonderful class. The devotees may please unmute your line and share your reflections or comments or questions that you may have. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
And as
Yeah.
Pranam Prabhu.
Yeah. Prabhu, today our eyes, were so blessed to have darshan of so many, deities. Probably we sometimes we may not be able to visit, but you made those, deities in this presentation. And thank you very much, Prabhu. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
And as
Prabhu, you have
Pranam.
wonderfully explained the grand opening of different temples, Prabhu. In Londoneshwar, Prabhu, the deities were obtained from a devotee from nearby, no, Prabhu?
Not devotee, he's a Hindu person. They are somehow connected to the Hindu Radha Krishna temple for which they brought originally, but they were not installed. Some Indian gentleman, not a devotee.
Okay, Prabhu. Finally, they were able to negotiate for the price, Prabhu.
No, Prabhupada just kidnapped and came. That's all. Over. Period. Khatam.
Haribol.
He kidnapped them literally. He literally kidnapped them. That's it. What they can do, it's a sannyasi. They tried calling him. That's it. They knew that they have gone. That's all.
Hari. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, wonderful darshan of all the temples.
Yes.
I was actually in the heart of heart, I was thinking that you should tell about Radha Kalachandji. And it started with that. Very nice. Prabhu, in London, there's one more temple in Nottingham.
Yeah, Nottingham temple is not there. Only we have Birmingham, and other than that is one more temple. Panchatattva deities are there. In Nottingham, I used to live. There's only Bhakti Vriksha used to happen, but there's no temple. Leicester nearby Nottingham is Leicester. Leicester, you have a temple. If you leave the Leicester, then Birmingham is the big temple. After that, it's Manor and Radharandaneshwar. Nottingham, there is no temple, but there are beautiful devotees are there who conduct Bhakti Vriksha.
But anybody has compiled which are the 108 temples Prabhupada has started, Prabhu?
Yeah, there is a website, 108 temples. So for us also, the Divya Desham, I stopped going to Divya Desham after thinking that wherever Mahaprabhu went, I need to go. Or where Prabhupada established, it's better to serve them. Because so much attraction, so much effort, labor Prabhupada has given. This is a gratitude to show Srila Prabhupada. So we also need to, meditate. And I have this one art book, which gifted in London by one of my Bhakti Vriksha member. It has all the compilation of all the Prabhupada temples, the deities picture. It's a big Krishna book. with a beautiful picture. It's a very expensive book, but it has all the deities and the history, some description of the deities.
Oh,
I can show you sometimes, bring to temple, but it's a big book with a big, nice pictures printed and the deities. And the website also, there are quite a few websites, talks about 108 temples.
okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for the nice, wonderful darshan of all temples. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Sri Baladi Das here.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for the wonderful darshan and the service attitude that the devotees had, Prabhuji. How wonderfully they served the deities. Prabhuji, one clarification. What takes precedence, Prabhuji? Temple deities or our house deities, Prabhuji?
In fact, those who are staying within 2 radius or 3 radius, the devotees recommend not to have personal deities. Prabhu, what should I do? I already have personal deities. I came closer to the temple. The idea is that the temple deities should be taken care as a priority. That's why the deity minister now very strict. The gurus are telling that before taking. See, actually, what happens is when you take personal deities before you get married, or when you change your job, or when you start worshipping Shaligram, or when you want to have a children, or when you want to buy a house, any major decision, this all needs to be consulted with your guru or senior Vaishnava who knows you. Based on their decision, either you move out, even the boys, if you see that, they'll ask, can I go this lucrative job, but I don't have association, should I go? The counselor would know whether he's strong, will be able to manage, or he'll make the devotees, or he might go out of Krishna conscious. Then accordingly, he'll say, don't take it. Here only take nice job. Similarly, the acharyas or the deity ministry's recommendation is that anybody staying closer to the temple, 2-3 miles, don't have even have a personal deities. That's because you can serve them the temple deities nicely and follow that, all those things. Other thing is we are preaching movement. You may not have time because different deities will have different mood. If it is Gauranitai, it's okay, no problem. They don't take offense. But Gauranitai, you have Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, Laddu Gopal, Radha Krishna deities. They need to be taken care. You can't neglect their service. Gauranitai doesn't take any offense. They even Harinam, whatever you eat, you can offer. But Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, you can't offer whatever you eat. They need to have rice, dal, chapati, like that, what we do in the temple. And Laddu Gopal, is a special care. It's like a kid, you need to take care. You can't put them in hungry, you can't put them into sleep. They need to be served nicely. So like that, it is better you have such deities. Why you can serve them in the temple. The idea is that nice worship, wherever the deities are nicely worshipped in the temple, the congregation will flourish like that. The opulence in which you take care of the deities, and automatically your other things are taken care. So that way, that is a recommendation. But yes, those who already have cannot be done anything. But at least for those who want to have, worst case, you can have so desire strong, then have Gauranitai, but mainly focus on the temple deities. This is temple deities for them, those who stay far away. You can't go every Sunday program. For them, at least they can do Mangalarti, worship them, bathe them. Now the minimum standards, recently one of the devotee was asking me, Prabhu, what is the standard I should I follow? Then I said, write to your guru first. You should ask them. And their guru has replied back. He said, will you be able to do 2 artis in a day? Will you be able to offer 2 meals in a day? Weekly once you'll be able to bathe them, change the dress. These are the, and without some, after you going, are there any people in your house can take care of it? We see only our lifetime, but what happens after our lifetime? So this deities, you can see some of the deities are 500 years old, and they need to be taken care. So what if after me, who will take care of it? All those things one should think about it, because it's not just you, and after you have, are there somebody to take care of them? Because you invited them, you taken them, but you have to take responsibility for them as well, like that. So it's not that simple that we should worship the deities at home, but of course they come on their own, and you have already cannot be done anything.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for the clarification. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Of course, the temple deities always take precedence. So there are expansion of our house deities' homes, or expansion of the temple deities. So that way, we serve the deities, main deities. Our our house devotees, they do understand. So that way, the priority is always the temple.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I have one question, Prabhuji. The Radha Landaneshwar deities, are they in Bhakti Vedanta manner or is it in a different?
Sogo Street. That is Radha Gokulananda. That is sweet devotees. Radha Gokulananda is in manner. They are different deities.
And that's also installed by Srila Prabhupada, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Any other comments or reflection from devotees?
Prabhu, you arrange one day to show us the book, Prabhu.
Yeah. I'll bring it one Sunday. You can come and have a look at it.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Okay, I think there are no other questions. So thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for a wonderful presentation on sharing the mood of Prabhupada and how he actually sweetly interacted with all our 108 Divya Deshams. Thank you, Prabhuji. We'll end today's class with Vaishnava Pranam. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripasindhubhyayavcha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaः. जय गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, प्रभुपाद लीलामृता की जय, कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल।
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Yes, Pranam.
Hare Krishna devotees will be ending the Zoom session. Thank you.